Hello, 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 hello. And traders, this is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the Daily Roundup. Hope everybody's having a great session. You don't always get to see my face. I figure I'd show you my face today. Hey. So the euro continues its slide. I'm going to take the video off. I just want to wave. Hey, can you guys see me? Hey, hey, hey. All right. Excuse me. Okay. Irina, how are you doing? Good to see you. All right, let's talk about the euro. And, I had to put a pattern in play in because it just continues to slide. It's trading super heavy. And I'm selling rallies at this point. But you notice how we're below the 50% retracement. I'm long dollars in different places, and I'm not short the euro at this moment, but I'm going to be getting short the euro at some point. Because I'm long dollars, I'm not like super motivated right now to just start chasing this lower. But I think that we will see, you should end up seeing a bounce pretty soon because this is an hourly RSI. It's pretty oversold. My 2 cents are the bounces are going to be pretty shallow. So you're going to see something like this, like a flag, and then, eventually like a sell-off, something like that. I would imagine that's what's going to happen at some point, whether it's here, hopefully not 20 pips lower, but I think that's what we're going to see. As I've pointed out to you guys, this is such big support that, we broke through in the euro dollar. I think that you're just going to see, selling pressure now. So you got to think about that because we haven't even seen equity market weakness. So if we see equity market weakness, what happens after that? Then you start to see currencies like, the cable, which, we challenged the underside of this trend line, as I pointed out during the FACE webinar, during the bias chart analysis. We might start to break through that support if stocks roll over. And I'm giving you the big if because this is just ridiculous. I mean, look at the stock market, another leg higher. I know everything's divergent and everything. It's crazy. If stocks ever roll over, you're going to have the Aussie, which comes under pressure. The Aussie's trading very poorly right now. The Kiwis, in its wedge, we're right at support now. Just remember, this is bias chart support at this time, 71.50. I don't think I would chase short Kiwis right now. So I'm imagining the dollar is going to find some resistance right around here. That would be my expectation at this point. That we're just going to see a little bit of consolidation, maybe pulling back, something like that. You take a look at like the dollar Canadian's up against triangle resistance. Dollar Swiss is above the 50% retracement, but again, very overbought here. US dollar Norwegian krona is flirting with big resistance and big trend line. I do think that the US dollar Norwegian krona eventually goes up, but it's not going up as the euro is going down. And I think a lot of that has to do, especially with Norway and the Canadian, that has more to do with crude, which continues to power higher. I mean, let me try something here. Just give me 1 second. Sorry. I think when you sleep on your you sleep when you sleep and you sleep kind of funky and your like back feels a little tweaked. That's how I feel like this morning. I'm like something I pulled muscle or something. I don't know. See, I'm looking for some sort of resistance here in crude and I don't see it. This is your daily chart. Oh, that's a 1 minute. I'm sorry. I was like, that isn't the daily chart. Or I've been looking at it kind of off. I mean, we're basically right up against resistance here. I mean, that's really key resistance. This is on the continuous contract. Shoot. I don't know how, can you guys bear with me? I'm going to have to tweet this. This is kind of important, right? Give me 1 second. So yeah, that's the thing. Like if crude stops here, crude, typed rude. I'll tweet this really quick. Wasn't even looking at that. I think it's I think that's pretty important because you know, I'm personally I'm waiting for the dollar Canadian to rally and break out. Even though I have some, I'm waiting for this, and this right here isn't going to happen because this isn't going to happen. Well, we have Canadian employment tomorrow. This isn't going to happen until you see risk off and you see crude come down, right? So, you know, and maybe not even until after Canadian employment. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to be a buyer of the dollar Canadian and add some down here at below 128. And maybe we'll get that opportunity overnight, right? That might be, you know, that might be the trade is trying to get long dollar CAD down here overnight. Alex says the dollar Mexican peso is above daily trendline resistance. It is, and that's good. I mean, we're flirting with it, I would say. Yeah, it depends on how you draw it, how, you know, I guess we could go just like that. Seems like we are above it. That's good. Oops. But we've been above it before and failed. So that's the other thing. You got to be a little careful with it. I'm still long dollar Mex. I actually sold a little bit at 47 this morning. So, you know, it is I think the dollar Canadian and the dollar Mexican peso and the dollar Norwegian krona have the potential of being ridiculously squeezed. You know, one of my, and I know I've told you guys this before, and I'm going to say it again. One of my colleagues who traded, he traded at Nomura for Lehman back in the day before Lehman, you know, went out of business. He's talking to a lot of his friends, and they have been really long Norway for quite some time. They've been, you know, basically parking their money in the US dollar Norwegian krona, trading Norway long. And he's like, yeah, these guys run a pretty big, you know, these guys, you know, continuously run these positions when volatility is low and stocks are high. And I don't think any of them have been unwinding. So this is definitely a risk. And I think when I look at the US dollar Norwegian krona, I think we could very easily test 9 and slightly above, because if you go, this is the long-term retracement. Just the 24% retracement takes us to 924. Beyond that is 978. You know, the 38% retracement. Those are the highs from June of last year. Imagine things get a little squeezy. I mean, we could theoretically get all the way up there. You know, do I think we're going back to 11? No, but, you know, heck, you know, a move like this, you know, from 868 to, you know, 976. I mean, let's do the math on that just really quick. Okay. let's go to extra tools, and let's say entry price of, and I use this risk management calculator all the time, guys. This is something that if you don't use this, do it, because this thing really keeps me, thinking straight. So let's say we have an entry of the US dollar Norwegian krona at 865. That's where we're currently at. Your risk right now is 855. That would be my opinion. Let's say we make it to 930. What did I say? I'm just going to do some math. And let's just say this isn't going to happen tomorrow, but let's say, you make a move like that till the end of spring, like let's say April. Let's go to 978. Oh, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. 978. Let's just think about this for a second. Let's say you bought 100,000 in currency. Oops, I did it the wrong way. 855. Sorry, my bad. It works better when you're shorting and typing it in like that. It makes sense. It's opposite of my brain. 978. So you're risking $1,000 to make 13 grand. You have $1 million in currency. You're risking 11 grand to make $130,000. That's over the course of, I'm trying to be realistic here. You get a spike like that, this type of move. If you think about this move here, this squeeze, that was 24 days. That's a month. And we went up 10%. So 10% in a month does happen. %. It's just somewhere around here, 955 in a month. So you could imagine by the end of spring being a 13% move. I mean, that's just, obviously that's something if you just want to sit in it. But I'm just giving you guys an example of what could happen if you break above. A few things need to happen. You break above the resistance, right? Like 875 or whatever, 872 really, but 875. Let's say you get up there and you comfortably are above that resistance. Stocks actually start to come down. You see some profit taking. Crude starts to come down, and then sprinkle on top of that, virus seems persistently high, or maybe some, you get some vaccination, not so good news, and you get a little bit of risk off, luckily. Then, next thing you know, you're trading at 950 to 990. And I'm just trying to give you guys an idea of potential trade, a thought process, and again, I'm using an example of $1 million in currency. Some of you trade, like, let's just say 50,000 in currency. You're from here, your risk is $500 to make, let's just say, over 6 grand in the next couple of months. That's just, I think that's the potential for this particular trade. Patty said, why would the dollar Norwegian krona be better than the dollar Mex or dollar Canadian? I don't think it would necessarily be better. But one of the things that you can argue, and this is one of the arguments that the guys in my office have, is, what's good for the US is good for North America. So, if you can imagine they maybe the trade situation gets a little bit better with Canada and Mexico over the course of the next couple of months. Maybe that's something that could derail the trade. So that's maybe another variable that you don't really think about when you're dealing with Norway. So I don't know. I'm just, like I said, I'm just giving you guys some ideas, and that's how I'm thinking about the US dollar Norwegian krona. I'm just telling you, my stops with my longs right now is below this low right here at 857. That doesn't mean that I won't get out if it comes back down to 860. I might just get out of it and say, screw it, I just don't want to be in it. But I'm looking to put in a pattern and play here. But I want to see some other things happen. Sorry for the yawns. Woke up with a headache this morning. I just didn't sleep too well. I slept on my head, or, you know, that's why my back hurts and I got a headache, all sorts of weird stuff. Jason says, Blake, in your view, why is the dollar so strong with potential stimulus coming? Because maybe that's less, less that the Fed needs to do. Maybe it's all priced in, you know what I mean? That could be one of the reasons why. Because if the Fed knows that fiscal stimulus is coming, that means less monetary stimulus they're going to have to do, right? And then if you think about it, you're like, oh, well, then if we're going to get less monetary stimulus, that's what really moves the needle in the stock market. Maybe stocks might come down. Well, if stocks come down, then I need to start buying dollars anyway, because I need a little bit of risk off, you know? So I think that should answer the question. Anyway, guys and gals, I hope you have a wonderful day. I will be seeing you. Oh, it's my messy closet. Sorry, you got to see my messy closet in my office. It's kind of like throw it all, like, ooh, I got to clean up the house. Let's just throw everything in there. Anyway, you guys have a great one. I'll catch you tomorrow morning. Thank you all for your support. And remember, Daily Roundup, for those of you that are new to listening to this webinar every day, we don't do it on Fridays. Okay, so it's just, it's Monday through Thursday. All right, guys, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.